Hey, can you
Yeah,
later?
I wanted my person.
What's up, peeps? So we had a little incident happen today, and then I was supposed to use my iPad. I think I did. Hold on a second. I don't. You guys will be okay. Just hold your horses. Uh, just 1 second.
My
Oh, yeah.
phone just died.
No, I'm still in there. So tonight on the way home, uh, mine got into a little fender bender, and while we usually talk about like, we're kind of getting into the activists and stuff like that, right? Um, I think tonight would be a good time to just kind of, be thankful for the things that we got, right? People that are in our life because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, so being appreciative of your, all right, being appreciative of your fellow man, right? Whatever relationship it is, it's always important. You know what I mean? I know that one of the reasons we started this not only was to give people a voice on TikTok that get silenced or that people gang up on and stuff like that, but we wanted to show another side of life. Like we, especially me, I get pretty worked up about stuff. Like when people get disrespectful or when people say that they're about one thing but they're not. They go and do other things or whatever the case might be. But I think it's important to show that that's not what we're about. We ain't all like that. You know what I mean? Like as Native people, we struggle. I was talking to one of my friends a couple of days ago. Right, I was having a hard time, so I called her up for a little counseling session or whatever, and we just talk about how we value people. As natives, we've been through so many different struggles. Especially if you come from a tribal community, man, drugs is always an issue. So you already know what that means: overdoses, just like gang nonsense and all that other stuff, right? So you don't ever know, man, like when somebody might disappear on you. You know what I'm saying? You never know what circumstances the greater plan has in place for you or has in store for you or whatever. So I just wanted to just take a moment, man, and just be appreciative and thankful for the good things that are in your life. Sure, you got some bad shit going on. We all got bad shit going on. It's called life, right? It's hard out here. It's tough. The quality of person has diminished incredibly in the 2 decades that I missed. You know what I mean? That I was locked up or whatever. Um, the quality of human being has gotten just a little bit worse, right? So it's easy to uh, I think it's easy to focus on the negatives and it's forgetful. It's not difficult. I think we just forget to do it and focus on the things that we're thankful for. So do that. Take a couple of moments out of your day and get like look around you, look at what you got. Like, you know what I mean? Look at your person. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm on this wobbly ass fucking phone holder and I got an iPhone 13 or 12 or some shit and the thing weighs a ton, so it's a big fucking thing. But anyway, so do that. Appreciate each other. Stop arguing and fighting so much, man. It ain't worth it. Mia stay gold, she ain't stay gold, man. That bitch is bronze as hell, man. Turning everybody green, right? Fall back from that, man. When you see something negative occupying your space, right, Mama Bird, fall back. Just because they got the louder voice does not mean that you need to engage in them or that you need to cater to them or that you need to be afraid of them, right? As adults, as grown folks, right? We should be able to stand up for ourselves and stand up against people that want to treat us like shit, you know? I know that cancel culture and all that other nonsense, man. But you got to think about it, man. Like, what are they canceling? You know what I mean? Like, sure, it's hard for me to make money right now, right? And other people that they engage in behavior like with this, like, it might get kind of difficult for them every once in a while, right? But we keep moving, man. We're fucking fighters, dude. Like, we've been through so much. We've seen so many different things. We've been involved in so many different things as natives, as Indians, right? Specifically because hey, gorgeous. But I was just telling them, like, that we struggle or whatever because, you know, being Indian that's just it's part of our walk. It's part of what we got going on or whatever, man. I'm just thankful. Like, I'm thankful Maya's okay. It fucked her car up pretty good. Can't drive it. Legit can't drive the damn thing, man. This fella backed out of his driveway. I wasn't there when it happened, but I seen the aftermath, man. It's got her door panel all peeled back, like legitimately, it's got the metal peeled back, like like it's a tin can or something, right? And that's 16 gauge steel probably. It takes a strong man to be able to tear shit like that up. Hey, what's up, sister? Uh, but I was just so I don't know how long you've been in here. I was just talking about Maya got into a little fender bender, man. She was driving westbound, and a car was coming out of a lane, right? So you got two lanes. You got westbound lane, or wait, it'd be this one, westbound lane, and then you got an eastbound lane, right? So the eastbound lane, the car was pulling out of that driveway. Here's your westbound lane, right? So this fool pulled out so fast and crossed traffic and hit Maya's car. That thing is like, dude, it's demolished. Like, that thing's hit. Can't drive it. It's got some kind of weird safety feature on it that I tried to back it up, and it's got the brakes all locked up. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. So what I was just saying was, we need to appreciate each other. We need to stop and take these moments, right, and understand what the potentials were behind something like this, right? And I was talking about how being an Indian, man, you don't have your next day guaranteed. Your friend's next day isn't guaranteed, depending on the types of shit that you're off. Same with your family and stuff like that, right? And then, like, just coming like from a personal perspective, right? Depression is something I deal with, and I know a lot of us deal with it, right? So you never know when one day somebody's going to decide that it just ain't the day for them. They're done with it. You know what I mean? So stop and appreciate the people that are around you. Stop and appreciate the people that do things for you, and just stop and appreciate anybody in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Like when that happened, my first reaction was like, I freaked out obviously about my car, right? Like, I need to be able to get around, and I need to be able to get my kids from point A to point B, and I need to be able to go to work. And thank you, sis. I appreciate that. So naturally, like, I got I was shaken, but I was emotional because I was like, I can't move around. Like, I don't have a car. And, Oja and my daughter, my son-in-law, they were like, the car is the car. You're okay. As long as you're okay, the rest we figure that out later, and that puts things in perspective. Because it's easy to get caught up in like the shit that you feel like you got to do, or the things that you need to have, and they put it in perspective, like, fuck the car, like, are you okay? So yeah, I'm still kind of shaken up about what happened. So
This is how dedicated we are. We jump right on. Like, we just got home. We ain't been home 15 minutes. We just got home.
yeah.
But anyway, so just moving on, man. What was we talking about tonight? I didn't even read that thing.
So tonight we were going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We were going to continue the conversation about Icwa and, our tribal sovereignty and the Supreme Court decisions that have been coming down that obviously are affecting Indian country, are affecting our communities. I remember the last time we talked about this a few days ago, I kind of funneled people over to the Lakota Peoples Project. There's a bunch of information and resources about the different, things that they're involved with. And there's a petition to sign there to keep the protections around Icwa, right? To protect Icwa. And then I also sent folks over to @Scarlet Morningstar to look at her content, because she also did a video with a bunch of good resources and a petition to protect Icwa. So we were going to be talking about that. And I was also going to be talking about, or I also mentioned that we were going to be talking about guidance, right? Guidance in terms of these apps that we're all on, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of these like social media apps that keep us quote unquote connected with each other, right? Who are we taking guidance from? Who are we looking to for knowledge and for information and understanding eldership, right? What that means, and who we really need to be giving our attention to. Anybody who's anybody can jump on an app and be like, hey, I'm an elder and you should do XYZ. We need to know for ourselves and be able to differentiate for ourselves whether these people are reliable, dependable, honest, and deserving sources of information, right? Deserving of our, trust and stuff. So we were going to talk about that. And there's been a lot of talk lately on these apps in terms of, or TikTok specifically, in terms of, who's an elder and who should we be taking point from when, we think about our indigeneity and our communities and what are do's and don'ts and things like that, right?
I think I'll start there, shit. Because I know most people that jump out here, they're only interested in the drama aspect of this video anyway, so I may as well give it to them now. I'm gonna just tell you, like I said, I don't know if I addressed this or not last week, right? I know I made a video about it, but Mama Bird, like, dude, you're so out of pocket, lady. If I was a person to question somebody's indigeneity, right, I definitely question yours, because the way that you move through life is very Karen-like. You called the cops on me. Ain't no telling who else you done called the cops on that you got beefed out with. Like, that's the first thing a Karen does, is call the police. You know what I'm saying? You think that you own so much space that you have a right to speak for MMIW victims and their families. Like, you lost your whole ass mind if you think that you're such a fucking worthy person, right? That you can give an okay. Like, listen, lady, you ain't. That's who are you, bitch? Like, get mad, stay mad, right? But who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't doing nothing, man. Listen, Mama Bird, motherfucking Mia, Alexis Faith, Ms. V503, like, all y'all do is stay hurting people, man. You guys get on there and you guys got something negative to say about somebody, right? Ms. V503 is about the only one that's got some half-ass positive shit on there. The rest of you guys, all you guys do is complain about somebody, complain about, man, you guys ain't got a natural happy moment in your life. And it shows through in the way that you treat other people. You know what I mean? So when it comes to guidance and stuff like that, right? Guidance is like, if they listen, you got to pay attention to the way that people move. Like, their words ain't nothing, man. My dad, I don't know how many times when I was young, my dad used to pound it in my head like a man is his word. You know what I mean? If you say it, you do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was raised, and that's how I grew up, and that's what I seen around me. That wasn't an unfamiliar lesson that my father taught me. My grandfather and my uncles and stuff like that, they all lived with a level of integrity that you don't necessarily see nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you one damn thing, right? They didn't go around telling people that it was okay to speak for MMIW victims' families and their victims. You know what I mean? Like, you jump out here acting like, you're like the fucking, I don't know, man, like the Jesus of fucking Indians. You're just a dusty bitch, man. You're just a miserable old lady that doesn't do nothing but sit in her miserable ass house making videos, creating shit, starting drama. Ain't no wonder your fucking comic career didn't take off. Plus, you ain't funny. No. I watched a couple of her videos when I was researching her. She ain't funny, and she's white. That
So
white as hell. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I
That's not the kind of person that you follow, man. If you follow that kind of person, then you personally need to sit back, do a little bit of reflection, like, man, what is it about me that finds something like that attractive? You know what I mean? When they hit you guys up and they're like, hey, we need you to mass report this individual or whatever, right? Or we need you to duet this video, because I know how they be working, right? They get mad when you go against them. Just ask me. I'll tell you about it. That's how Mama Bird got mad at me, right? This whole thing that they did to me, it was like it stemmed over Mama Bird because she got butthurt that she said that if Icwa was struck down on a federally constitutional level, that no states would have any protections, and that isn't true. They do. They have their own constitution. There's only like I think like there's 6 states that don't have Icwa protection on a state level, right? That's not to say that the state constitutionality of it can be challenged, because it could be, since it was challenged on a federal level. Common sense dictates it can be challenged on a state level, right? Let me say this before I forget, because I'm smoking weed, so I might forget. But this right here is a potential opportunity for federally recognized tribes to test their sovereignty, right? Draft up their own Icwa legislation and pass that shit through tribal court or through tribal chambers, right? And then when the state comes down or the feds come down or whatever, right? Then the tribe's like, no, no, we're sovereign. We're sovereign nations. We're federally recognized as being sovereign individuals, right? So what does sovereignty mean? Sovereignty doesn't mean that you get a check from the government once a month or once a year or whatever, because I ain't never got nothing from the government except for fucking 19 years in the joint. Sovereignty means that you have the right to self-govern, right? And the whole point of us fighting for sovereignty, while you goofy fuckers are out here complaining about those of us that belong to a federally recognized tribe, the whole point of fighting for sovereignty is because we are sovereign. We don't want American citizenship, right? We want our sovereignty. We are a group of people. As an Anishinaabe man, right? I am a part of the Anishinaabe tribe, and we govern ourselves differently. We don't govern ourselves the same way. We don't have the same cultures. We don't have the same teachings. Sometimes we don't even have the same medicines, right? When it comes down to ceremony, when it comes down to, you know, powwows, even, right? There's differences. So as a whole body of people, right? We deserve that sovereignty. We deserve the right to govern our own people, right? So that's what we should be fighting for. We should be fighting for that. You know what I mean? Blood qualm and all that, like we got to figure that stuff out. But we should be definitely fighting for our individual sovereignties, for each individual tribe or whatever, right? But I would challenge, if I was somebody, I would challenge the state and I would challenge the federal government by drafting up by getting our own tribe to draft up legislation that would offer protection from a tribal level. You know what I mean? I think that personally, worst case scenario, you know, it'll throw them into a tailspin for quite some time, because they're not even going to know what jurisdiction to put it in. They're going to fight over jurisdiction. The state and the federal government is going to fight over jurisdiction. So while they're doing that, we could be doing whatever it is that we need to be doing to secure that. And I need people to understand something, man. Another thing people need to get familiar with and think about real close, right? Think about the direction that this country is going, right? Now they're fucking over white women. Come on, man. Like, you know shit's about to get nasty if they're fucking over white women, right? So what do you need to do? You need to think about protecting your family. You need to be thinking about protecting your elders and the people in your community, right? So I'm just saying, like, I know Mama Bird had a big old problem with me being boots on the ground to protect our women, right? She didn't like the fact that I was trying to draw together an organization. Quiet as it's kept, though, she was telling me something on the low that I wasn't listening to. That all these motherfuckers ain't nothing but a bunch of bitches, KP. I'm just saying. Lakota guy, you a hoe. What?
Wait, no, but you are absolutely right in all aspects. But what you're saying in terms of like handling our business, right, while the federal government and the state governments, go back and forth about jurisdiction, right? What do you call that all the time? The overplay for the underplay, right? That's
The
what you call
overlay
it,
for the underplay. You got that
right?
right.
So while they're figuring their shit out, we're over here building shit, putting shit in position to be able to, do what we got to go do for our communities and our, people and stuff. And like, yeah, no, that's exactly what that is. That's the overplay for the underplay. That's the hidden hand.
Overlay for
Oh,
the underplay.
that one. That's the
Covering you up while you're getting played down low.
yeah. That one right there. That's what that is.
But we need to be focused on things. We need to think about that. Like as indigenous people, right? I see ain't nobody got a problem putting together a video talking about, all children matter, or an MMIW video, right? Nobody's got a problem doing that, but man, listen, dude. Like you fools are on TikTok talking about, and they got real gangsters out there trying to take care of their women. You ain't no gangster, you's a bitch. Dead ass. You guys jump on like, man, I used to hate that shit. KP jump on there on his MMI shit, right? Trying to look like he's all geared up or something, like he's about to go and hunt something down. He couldn't even hold his old lady down. They broke up. I found out Mia and War Booty broke up. So now, like, come on, my dude. You think that we trust you with our people, white man? You know what I'm saying? And you can't even hold down your own woman. As big a mouth as she had, you couldn't even hold her down as she's got. I see she's going to take that toxicity to another platform now.
Oh, the Insta? Yeah, the Insta. So that's the whole thing, right? Who the fuck are you taking your advice from? Who are you listening to? Whose guidance are you accepting? We are a whole community of different tribes and nations. As such, our elders hold special places for all of our communities. What we need to do is understand that those people that we take guidance from, there's a reason we take guidance from those people. And being an elder doesn't mean, you're just old or a certain age. You know what I mean?
Hey man, can we get somebody to say something though? Just like type like K. A, when you're holding your phone, A is pretty close to your thumb. Just be like bloop and then bloop. Just let us know you're there. Because I feel like I'm talking to a dead screen. Be like bloop bloop. Be like, you ugly motherfucker, I love the Cubs. And I'll be like, okay.
Man, listen here.
Hey man, let me tell you something. Look, listen, I'm gonna get dragged for this shit, but whatever. We go to McDonald's today.
Man, listen. Don't, baby.
Yeah, listen, we go to McDonald's today, my dude. Right? Listen, I'm all about like express yourself the best way you know how, man. Like, but I
Let's just say he was startled. There was a little unexpected,
man covered in makeup. Did you mute me? You should mute me.
Man, I can't mute you. That's the scary part. You got to mute yourself.
Negative.
Listen, anyway, let's look.
Man, that shit blew my mind back. I was like, holy fuck.
Love is
but
love.
I love you, man.
Babe.
You're a beautiful person, man.
Love.
I'm talking about strength, my dude. Talk about strength. Have these guys around.
Courage.
You got that kind of strength. Courage.
Courage.
That's not giving a fuck. Like, listen, I'm dead. Laughing at his face. In his face, laughing, right? Like, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was so taken aback. Like, I turned around and I seen that shit. And I laughed. What can I say? They used to call me Joker in the joint. Dead ass. But anyway.
For a whole other reason that we're not going to get into. Jesus.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Ednia Dove. Ednia.
I like that. That's a cool name.
Dove.
That's pretty slick. I like that. What's up, though? But anyway, what do you feel about what we've been saying? Like, how do you feel? How does that bounce off your head? You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? I think that is important for our women too, man. Our women got to get involved also, right? If we want any change in Indian country, it doesn't matter what it is, man. It needs to be a united effort. And like I said yesterday or last week, right? Listen, just because our paths ain't the same paths doesn't mean that they're not going to the same location. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
If you're the kind of person, man, like you make shit happen, you know, in politics, putting together protests, uh, you know, whatever else they're emailing and all that other stuff, right? If you're good at that, like you excel at that and you can get things done and like blah, blah, whatever, right, to do it, right? If you're
Yep.
the kind of person that knows how to organize boots on ground men, right? To go out and do patrols and things like that so that they can make sure that our women are safe, right? Call out the bullshit, man. Like stop being scared, man. Just because you get your ass whooped by the auntie don't mean that the white boy can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like get dirty, man. Never let anybody treat anything that you love in a bad way, right? As a man, I do everything that I can to make sure that my woman is safe, that she knows that she is more secure than the fucking president of these gay ass states,
And
right?
I do.
Like that ass, man, is important. And don't talk like me because like I just don't care. You guys are gonna talk shit, whatever. Like I ain't got a job, so you can't mass report me to my boss.
Yeah, you can. Send those complaints my way. Send those complaints my way. Yeah, no, listen. Everybody.
Decolonizing. There we go. There we go. Let's talk about decolonizing, right? That's it. Listen, is just be a native, man, in 2022, right? Every last one of us has to put a conscious effort into decolonizing because we're, man, like myself included, am so colonized, right? Um, you know, it's especially for me, right? It's easy for me to get wrapped up in myself in my own little world. You know what I mean? Out here in the great state of brother love and whatever. What's the state known for?
California is the sunshine state.
The
Or is
sun.
that Florida?
Yeah,
I don't know, whatever.
the sun is always out around here. But I forgot what I was saying. But decolonizing, man. I'm on that shit. You like that?
Decolonize. That's right. You
I've
are
been
on
trying to
that
make her
shit today.
laugh
I'm
all
so
day
proud
because
of you.
she got into a car accident. For the people that just come in here, she just got into a car accident legitimately like a couple hours ago ish. Like 5:25 is when it happened. Right.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't jump on at 6 o'clock because she got into a fender bender, like fucked her car all up, right? So I've been trying to make her laugh, like do shit that, you know what I mean, that was surprising. Like, God damn it, this motherfucker in his mouth, he's gonna get us in all kinds of trouble.
Man, listen. Yeah, and he's doing a great job of making me laugh and making me smile and making me feel safe. An amazing job.
One biggest struggle with social media is it makes it look like we're unionized, but in reality is we're divided. But once again, like, you know, it's important to understand, like, you got to appreciate people. Like, we got to appreciate each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
um, the best way that I can say it is how I say it, right? I don't want you eating at my table. You ain't gonna eat with me, but I want to see you eat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't sitting at my table.
Yep. That's called
But
a boundary, not a beef.
Yeah, like that's a boundary, man. Like respect my boundaries and everything's okay, right? Get outside
Yep.
of my boundaries and you'll see another side of me, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's like we see value in you just because for whatever reason we choose not to surround ourselves with you or share a space with you or share a table with you doesn't mean we don't want to see you share a table and eat with someone else. Again, it's a boundary, not a beef. Everybody deserves that, right? So get yours. Do you have your
Do you
meal? Yeah,
do
have
you
your meal.
exactly.
You just ain't sitting next to us when you do it.
Do you and everybody do you, man? Like it don't matter. If somebody tells you that you ain't doing it right, do you. Do you,
Yep.
man? Listen, there ain't no perfects in this world, man. We
Yep.
need our people. We need to figure out a way to get drugs out of our communities. Like we need to figure out a way to offer such a support network to our people, right? And encourage them to get away from drugs, decolonize, right? Uh, we need people to look after our elders. You know what I'm saying? You go when you fucking chop it up. Like I'm telling you, I promise you, man. If you know an elder and you sit there and just start a conversation with them, you're gonna love it. It's better than TV. I love talking to elders.
Yep.
Like legitimately. When I get an opportunity to talk to an elder, I talked to an elder. Plus, they're super funny. They've been
Yeah,
through so
listen.
much.
Listen, and they love it. My father, I was on the phone with my father the other day. Oja and I went to go run some errands. My daddy calls me and I answer, hello. And Oja next to me says, hello, is it me looking for? And my dad's like, someone put a muzzle on that dog. Like that kind of shit. That kind of shit right there, right? Just funny and like genuine, right? Just genuine fucking around with them. Like, you know what I mean? So, and yeah, like what Wyona's saying, that our biggest struggle with social media and stuff, about being that social media makes us look unionized when we're really like divided. And you're right, social media does make us look like we're all part of the same damn union, right? Everybody believes the same shit, follows the same people, votes the same way, is politically similar, practices all the same ceremonies and traditions, wears the same regalia. Like, legitimately, they do make us look unionized. Like, we're all clumped into one huge group, right? And we're monolithic. We all do the same shit, speak the same languages, pray to the same gods, wear the same regalia. No, when in reality, you could, some of the, I'm sure there are absolutely super far right conservatives that are, native, right? And we're all different politically, we're different, in all these arenas, right? But people don't know that because social media paints a picture of us that's very generalized, you know. And in terms of decolonizing, you got to remember, when you decolonize, you're literally unlearning colonial pedagogy, you're unlearning colonial gender roles, you're unlearning colonial socialization. So that road, right, that process is long. It's long and it's painful because A, no one likes change, and B, it's uncomfortable because you're literally swimming against the current. You're trying to unlearn everything you've been taught from the time you could speak, from the time you could, form a thought, right? You're literally ingrained with colonial concepts and colonial, education and all that stuff. So trying to unlearn that is super difficult, and we mess up, we fuck up. Try on our journey to try to decolonize, to try to realize what we really were, how we really formed thought and grasped concepts and interacted with each other pre first contact. We're gonna fuck up because we're not used to walking in that way. And it's okay if we fuck up. We got to be able to say, that was a mistake. Like, I shouldn't have done that. And I know better now. I didn't realize that that wasn't acceptable. And I apologize. Sweet, cool. You learned, and we move on. But that whole cancel culture, like, oh shit, they fucked up or they said something that isn't appropriate, cancel them. Everyone, stop talking to them, stop following them, block them, blacklist them. Like, all that stuff, it's ridiculous because there's no growth in that. you know there's no growth in seeing somebody commit a mistake or seeing somebody fuck up in some way, and you shove them to the side and you discard them. There's no growth there. And as
Hey,
Native people, we
let
don't
me
get
interject real
growth.
quick. I just want to say something before I forget. Right, uh, to this Edna Dove, or anyway, listen. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think one of the more common questions that I get, right, is where do I start or how do I start, right? And I think about it a lot. Like, I'm from, I'm from there. I'm from the res, so I didn't have to fight to get into the res. But now I'm out here in another state, right? And like, I miss my people, man. I was like, man, that shit breaks my fucking heart because, like, there's Mexicans and stuff like that, but I was raised around them resi fuckers. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to break into a whole new community. And the best way to do stuff like that, man, is, hey, get off this. Is how you treat other people, how you project, how you present yourself, right? And how you project, like, who you are as, like, Maya tries to talk about that energy, right? So, like, that energy, man, like how you project that stuff. Like, You got to be conscious of how you treat other people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's decolonizing because when you think about like these colonial concepts, first of all, they all wrap around Christianity, which is I would willing to bet just about anything, the father and mother of capitalism, right? And what does capitalism teach you? Right? It teaches you to fight for yourself. You listen, you hear it all the time. Listen to a motivational speaker once, right? And fight for yourself. Nobody's gonna do it for you, right? That's not always true, man. Like, and I see that you say that it can be lonely. It can be lonely. But first of all, you always got Maya, right? And I'm because you're a female, before you can talk to me, you gotta talk to her, right? But if she says okay, then you got me, right? Depending on where you're at, I might be able to have some resources for you because I know a lot of people, man. I know a gang of people, right? Um, what attitude just isolates us from each other? I
The
mean,
cancel culture, probably.
oh, that cancel culture, like, well, yeah. But if you want to get, like, if you want to be part, if you want to get into the community, man, if you want to know, like, stop calling yourself reconnecting native. Like, you're a native or you're not. I mean, it's just, it's not like there is no middle ground, unfortunately, right? You can't be like, oh, I did that because I'm a reconnecting native. My bad. Now, motherfucker, you're an Indian. You didn't know better. You now know better. So don't do it again. Right? Like, don't disrespect yourself, man. Respect yourself. Find value and honor in yourself. Listen, you will have a bloodline that belongs to you. That is yours. That flows through your veins, passed down by your family. You know what I mean? If you are indigenous, claim that shit. Stop saying I'm a reconnecting native. Listen, I'm a native. I'm an Indian. Like I'm an Indian though. I'm a Resi motherfucker, right? But I tell you what, I was never really raised around ceremony because my mother was a hardcore Christian, right? So I don't feel comfortable talking. I might not feel comfortable talking about ceremony, but I tell you, I get in there and I'll listen to it though. Like any opportunity I get, like one of my friends, I call one of my friends, and we're talking or whatever. We always find a way to fall into the conversation of, one of my friends. She's big on water and smudge and tobacco, putting our tobacco down. One of them, that's our main sacred medicine, right? Um, I forgot what I was saying now. God damn it.
Ceremony.
Jesus Christ.
You're not very school or like in with ceremony because you didn't grow
Yeah,
up
but
with it.
I don't say I'm a reconnecting native because I don't know, hardly anything about
No,
ceremony. You know
no.
what I mean? Listen, you don't want to know what res life is like, man. It's horrible, dude. In Peshabi town, there's I don't know how many square miles it is, right? But it's a decent size. So if you're northbound, right, then there where it starts at is a road named Johnson Road. And I kid you not, I'm not lying about this. Um, for about 3 miles down, you could feel the weight. As soon as you cross over Johnson Road, right, or if you turn onto Johnson, you can feel the weight. You can feel the pain. You legitimately can feel it. That's why I fight so hard for my people. That's why I'm always there for my people. Whatever friend I got, man, if it's an Indian, and it always is, like I'm there because, like, you can feel like it makes you sad. Like you could feel it in your heart and in your chest, right? So you don't want nothing to do with a tribal community, man. Just, you know, not like that. You just want to learn about your ceremony. That's what you should focus on. That's where that's where all that shit's gonna be anyway. What you're looking for is spirituality. You're not, that reconnecting native stuff, man. That's I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I think you're disrespecting yourself. I don't think you're giving yourself the honor that that you deserve because you're an Indian.
Ednia
There's
says, I can see the indigenous features in me, but my father never really connected with the idea. I'm from Mexico and we moved to the USA. Well, let me tell you that the percentage of Indians, of natives, of indigenous peoples in Mexico is astronomical. Um, so if you're from Mexico, you're still native. You are still indigenous to Turtle Island. You are still one of the, you're one of the first nations, one of the first tribes, one of the first peoples, right, of the Western Hemisphere. Like Osha said, you own that. You wear that. You know what I mean? You claim that. and you do your research. Like you go back, you try to go as far back as you can, right? And figure out, what your lineage is. But, you're native or you're not, like you said, reconnecting sounds almost like you're invalidating yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're taking away what is yours, by blood. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that whole like I understand where people could come up with like stuff stuff like that with a small blood quantum percentage or something like that, right? But to get into my tribe, you just got to be. I think it's a quarter. I think you got to be. I think you got to be an eighth. Ottawa or Chippewa, and I think the rest is the other eighth is you could be anything. But anyway, my point is, blood quantum don't really mean anything in terms of indigeneity, right? Blood quantum is a colonial concept, man. Like if you think about it, all of this entire system, man, is meant to break everything down so that it thrives off the criminal justice system. Like look at how many different ways the government gets paid through the criminal justice system. Every time that you go to court, right? Every time that you file a motion, you gotta pay for a motion. Listen, every day that you sit in jail, you have to pay money for that. That shit ain't free. Every There's money in the jobs, free labor. There's money in the correction system, the correctional officers, right? There's when they start privatizing things, there's money in the kitchen. There's money in everything. And that's if you take that concept, you can apply that to the entire United States on how it works. You know what I mean? White people are gonna start feeling that shit pretty soon. Watch. But anyway, man. Hey, listen, we're gonna jump off here. Um, if you see this video and you see it to the end, then we got a special treat for you fuckers. I am going to raffle off. We're gonna figure out a way to give away. All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you a painting. It's not a painting. It's a digital rendering I did because I draw on Procreate sometimes, right? I don't want you looking at my whole fucking house. But we are going to give that bad boy away.
Get that, baby. God, that thing's gorgeous. Are we? You sure we can keep it?
So if I don't know, we'll in the next couple of weeks we're gonna put something together. When we see that we got a decent amount of views on this, maybe like because we average between, we haven't hit 100 yet, but we get some decent views, I think, for what we do. When we see we got a decent amount of views on here, then we'll definitely put out there that we got our raffle will be when our raffle will be, and then just figure it out. But anyway.
I know it was kind of like disorganized today, guys. I literally was in a car accident. So we will adhere to our agenda more closely the next time we go live with one of our shows. Hopefully that day I won't have to deal with another car accident or anything crazy happening. But just love each other, take care of each other, appreciate each other. Like Osha said when he opened the show, like you never know what could happen. You never know when someone leaves for work that morning, whether you're going to see them again that evening. Any number of things could have happened. Osha was like, listen, maybe we should think about like what might have happened if this didn't happen. Like maybe something potentially worse would have happened if you hadn't been caught up there with that accident, for an hour or whatever. You hear those things all the time, like, oh, I missed that flight and then something happens to the flight, or I missed that intersection by like half a second, or like I was running late, so I wasn't where, that shooting took place, whatever it is, right? At the rate things are going on in the world right now, these crazy shootings and all of these things, right? You just never know. So like appreciate each other.
Hey, one more thing before we jump off here, right? I seen that that lady had typed in there. It's hard to know the right terms to use. So if you're talking about like Indian, Native American, like use whatever term you want to use, man. We know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People that listen, man, like natives that real natives, man. We don't give a fuck what you call us. We're not gonna get caught up in Indian. We're not gonna get beefed out because you called me an Indian and I like to be called Native American, or I like to be called American Indian, or fucking, I prefer to be called by my name, to be honest with you. But you know, like, I don't know, man. Stop gatekeeping everybody so hard.
Mhm.
Listen, we're human beings, man. Like, you guys act like white folks, like how white people, they like to take us and they like to really stereotype us into these great mythical fucking figures or something. Like, we're just so spiritual about everything, and we got to be, oh no, don't say that. Like, no, man. I am a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I bleed red. My blood. I have blood that courses through my vein. My body works just like everybody else's does.
If you don't believe him, look at his pinky.
Man, listen here.
Look at that thing.
That's the force. Listen, that's the force of my fucking punch. But I was hammer fisted, so it wasn't an actual like. So I fucking, and it's broken too.
Hi, Twitch.
Twitch is in here.
Yep. He
What's
said,
up,
dope
bro?
shirt.
You like that? All right, man. But listen, man, I'm out of here. You guys, like, I love you guys. Love each other. Quit being dicks to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, be nice. Be nice. Be nice.
Be nice. Yes. Love each other. Be nice to each other. And real quick, that lady that said, or whoever said, oh, well, you never know like what to call or what terms to use. Like you said, if you call them Indian and they're offended and they say, I don't want to be called Indian, I want to be called indigenous, or I want to be called native. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You say, okay, sorry. And you call them indigenous. Like,
Yeah. Like, stop acting like we're just holy. We're just so holy. Like,
right.
we're not so holy, dude. Like, you know what I mean? If you get offended by being called Indian or American Indian or Native American, indigenous, red man, whatever, right? Like, why, man? You must got an easy ass life if you could get caught up
Right.
by shit like that. You know, you think I care if somebody calls me an Indian? Fuck no. Call me whatever you want to call me as long as I'm fed.
Right.
All right, but anyway.
All right. We love you guys.
Yup. We'll see you fuckers. How do you hang this bitch up?